I had the pleasure of hopping in an elevator, like ding, that you were saying, get an elevator, going like elevator door open, like, oh, there's Ted. I mean,
There's
he's in the
Ben.
back of the elevator, right? Because
Full
we're going up.
mustache, like there he is.
Yeah, full mustache, much taller than you think he would be. He was a
Really?
taller guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, but also it's Ted Turner, and I'm like a baby, so there's kind of a mystique about Ted Turner. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone
Sure.
had stories about Ted Turner and things like that,
Yeah.
right? All right, we're back, Rob. And I see the shoulder shrug going, episode 167. 167.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We were talking about 167 right before we started the podcast today. And I was like, admittedly, because I'm old, I didn't know what it meant. Like, I know the kids say it.
Yeah.
I had
The
no idea what it
origin
meant.
is hazy,
What's that?
I said the origin is hazy, like how it
Origin's
just
a
kind of
little
became
hazy.
like
I have no idea, nor have
Yeah.
I spent really any time thinking about it. But just out of curiosity, I went to Google and typed in the number 67.
Yeah.
And for all our listeners, go do that and watch what happens.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Every once in a while, Google has some really good little Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
Just hidden little things that
This is one of those.
Absolutely.
Nothing fancy, but it just kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I mean, go look it up anyway. But I guess now the definition is accepted definition is brain rot. It basically means brain rot. Which as a parent, I'm very familiar with brain rot.
Yeah, I would I would agree that like it does like it's not going away, but it just seems like brain rot. Like what it's not even like what are we doing here, people? You know what I mean? Like it's not even a slang that like makes sense. It's not like aura and other things that everybody's saying. It's like
no. I was in a hotel elevator a couple of weekends ago, and a pretty crowded elevator.
Yeah,
and somebody hit floor number 6 and somebody hit floor number 7, and my daughter immediately was like, "Oh, 6, 7," and said it out loud, and everyone in the elevator was like, "Ah!" So it is pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty universal.
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems like it's going to stay around for a while because it's been around for a while, and it doesn't seem like it's going to fade. Like how things fade.
I sure hope it doesn't fade.
Or like Haktua. You know what I mean? Like no one says that anymore.
Yeah,
like we're done with that. That had its moment in the sun, and we're gone. Like
that's right.
I mean, things come and things go, but it seems like 6, 7 for whatever reason. The youth is holding on. If we want to sound like
I hope
people,
so, because I got the 6, 7 tattooed on my chest. So
there you go.
I hope it's going to stay with me forever. That's for sure.
Emblazoned on the chest.
It will never fade.
All right. So we had an awesome topic. We're going to punt it to next week, I think, because we both just found out that Ted Turner died.
Yeah. R.I.P. Ted Turner.
I know. Super weird. You are an Atlanta native, and I came to Atlanta indirectly because of Ted Turner. My very first job right out of college was to go work for Turner Entertainment, right? And I was kind of a freelance little interny, designery person. I mean, as a full-time employee, but and I worked on all of the different entertainment networks, so not news, So for the first 6 months of my career in Atlanta, I worked on like TBS, TNT, TNT Latin America. I mean, I kind of floated around and did all sorts of stuff. I was a lighting, stand. I mean, I was a low man on totem pole in a television. Yeah. I mean, I did a little bit of everything.
What year was that?
What's that?
What year would that have been?
That was 97. Okay. 97? Yeah, 97. I don't think it was 96. I don't know. I'm bad with the space-time continuum,
96 was Olympic year. So
yeah, no, it was right after the Olympics. So it was, I think I may have, no, it was 97. It had to have been 97 because I don't think I was right after the summer. I didn't come during the summer. It was after, because I had a weird graduation schedule because I transferred in. So I had a weird semester break or whatever. But yeah, I mean, wrestling, got to do the WCW. I mean, I've got a million stories I could tell about all the fun, the first year of my career with thing. But yeah, Ted Turner, man, it was weird, the Superstation, and Dude was awesome. I mean, I'll call him an Atlanta original. Like, I mean, that guy is uniquely Atlanta, right?
Yes,
Back
he
in the day,
is.
you know?
And by all accounts, I don't I've never met him,
Yeah.
but by all accounts, a very eccentric,
Yeah.
just kind of maniac in
I
a good way, in a
Yeah,
good way, I
well,
think.
yeah, I mean, if you could put a funny kind of internet spin on it, it's almost like, using ADHD for good, and I have no clue if he had ADHD whatsoever, but the
No,
guy
but
was a
that
wild man. I mean,
yeah,
it was, "Boom, we're doing wrestling. Boom, we're doing the Braves. Boom, we're doing boom, like, we're
yeah,
doing, we're gonna buy old movies and put them on, and then we're gonna do the classic movies, then we're gonna
yeah,
recolor The Wizard of Oz, then we're gonna" I mean, like, it's like, "Whoa, we're gonna do 24-hour news. We're gonna" like, I mean, the guy just
yeah.
kept going and going and going and going and going, and I have again, I have no idea what his deal was, but, like, full of energy and, kind of just an interesting
I think
oddball
yeah.
character, you know?
Did you ever
So
meet him?
I had the pleasure of meeting him once by accident. So, I did a bunch of time at the entertainment side, which is over on, like the 14th Street, the 10th Street where the mansion was and things like that.
It's a
Then I did
block
a bu
away from
then I
there.
yeah, then I transferred, down to CNN and I worked, down at CNN Towers, right?
Okay.
The north and south. And so I had the pleasure of hopping in an elevator, like ding, that you're saying, get an elevator, going like elevator doors open, like, oh, there's
Oh,
Ted. I mean,
there's
he's in the
man.
back of the elevator, right? Because
Full
we're going up.
mustache,
Yeah.
like, there he is.
Yeah, full mustache, much taller than you think he would be. He was a
Really?
taller
Okay,
guy. Yeah, I
okay.
mean, but also it's Ted Turner and I'm like a baby, so there's kind of a mystique about Ted Turner, you know what I mean? Like, and everyone
Sure.
had stories about Ted Turner and things like that,
Yeah.
right? This was pre, because let me think about this. Turner bought, what was it? They bought AOL. No, it was they merged with Time Warner and then AOL bought Time Warner, right?
Yeah,
It
I
it's
think
kind
that's
of
correct.
the three fang. So I was there at the beginning of that, which was the tail end of my Turner career. Anyway, getting off topic. So the elevator doors open and Ted Turner's in there. And obviously I have a look of like, oh shit, that's Ted Turner. You
Right.
know? And this poor guy, has probably happened to him 10 times a day, as far as I know. You know what I mean? But he immediately was like, "Hi, I'm Ted." He had his famous line because
Was he
everybody
the
told
only
me.
one in the elevator?
No, he had like a security guy or something with him.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean, it wasn't like Ted Turner solo.
But
Um,
there weren't other random people in
there
the
were no
elevator?
other random
Okay,
employees. It was him, somebody else that was with him, which I
got it.
assume was security, but could have just been somebody else was with him,
Right.
and me, right? And I very clearly had the badge, the lanyard. I mean, I was very clearly at a CNN elevator. I was over on one of the towers already, so it wasn't like I was out with the masses, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I had
clearly an
already
employee.
badged into wherever my
Yeah.
thing was, right? And so I later found out that this is what he tells everybody because, of course, I told everybody, "Oh my god, I just met Ted Turner in the elevator." But he was. So I walk in, I'm super shocked, and he just puts his hand right out and he says, "Hi, I'm Ted. What do you do for me?" That was kind of his catchphrase, right?
That's
I mean, the
great.
prism of memory, maybe he said it slightly differently, but it was basically like,
That's
"I'm Ted
great. I
Turner.
love that.
What do you do for me?" And I was like,
I'm working in graphic design and
yeah,
I
"Hi, Mr. Turner," voice crack or what, like whatever. And then it was like, "Oh, let me turn and hit the elevator button," and just kind of like,
No,
uh,
we
uh,
didn't say another word we didn't say a word after that? Like, that was
it
it?
was it was a little awkward. It
It
was
was
I didn't know what to say. So I mean, is that meeting someone? I don't know. I mean, I said
Yeah,
hello, I shook his hand,
sure.
I told him my name and what I did, and you know what I mean? And, maybe there was a pleasantry upon departure, like, "Have a good day," or
Yeah.
"Nice to meet you," or something like that. I mean, shit, this was a long time ago. But that's the only time I ever was really, I
I
mean, I
love
think I
that.
went to a symphony once, and I went to some other things where him and Jane Fonda were there t so,
Yeah,
like, you'd see him from afar in Atlanta and things like
yeah.
that, but that was the only time I actually had the pleasure of, like, shaking his hand and
Well, what a
saying
great
hello,
icebreaker line that is, though.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love
Oh,
that.
it's total badass. It's like this whole empire is here because
"What do
I
you do for me?"
I
It's
did
funny.
this, you know what
It's
I mean?
great. It's great.
Yeah,
That's a great
so,
line.
and we used to do like, I used to do I mean, one of my daily jobs, and to bring this around to advertising, one of my daily jobs was typesetting the ads right? For like TV Guide and newspapers and things,
Mm,
right? So you had this half-inch tall ad that ran like 7 or 8 columns wide, and it would be
yeah,
like, "Tonight," and they would do like, "Tonight on the Superstation," Atlanta
yeah,
Braves or whatever movie or whatever something, you know what I mean? So I'm an illustrator, it's like, what do you do? You can't design with like it's like a half inch by like 11 inch, there's only so much you can do, you
yeah,
know?
right.
Oh my god, so I used to do that, and it was always, if you recall this, it was always on the 5, so it was 7:35, 8:35.
The Braves always played at 7:05.
Yeah,
Like, what,
7:05. It
right.
was always on the 5, right? And do you know why that changed? Just a weird Atlanta trivia or a little
I
trivia action?
I don't I know you've told me that before, but I don't remember, so
It'll come back to you the minute I
you need
say it,
to
yeah.
tell everyone.
Everything was on the 5, that was their hit, that was their little, hook, right?
Yeah,
Because it was, "Oh, everybody else is on commercial, we're not going to be on commercial when everybody
uh,
else is on, in case anybody's clicking around and doing things, right?"
yeah.
What killed it is TiVo. TiVo is what killed that, because
Yeah,
TiVos could only, at the very beginning, be programmed for the hour and a half hour, right?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people were getting pissed.
It cuts off at 7:30 and you miss the last 5 minutes.
Exactly. They missed the
Yeah,
last 5 minutes of whatever the
right.
drama TV show was, and, like, you can't get that
Oh,
back,
I'd
you
be
know?
pissed. I
There's no
would
streaming, there's none of that stuff, and they were the only ones that did that, right? So it's like, well,
mm,
TiVo's not gonna bend their rules just for one station, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, that type of
Is
thing,
TiVo
so
still around?
I think didn't they just roll into, like, DVRs and things? I mean, didn't they kinda, like, partner up with, like, DirecTV, and it's like, "Now with TiVo," like,
I
home
feel like maybe
reporters?
they got swallowed up somewhere
Yeah.
along the way here. I'm looking
They had a
on the
fun little logo of, like, their little it was like a
yeah,
little
the little TV
television
guy.
with, like, which was so counterintuitive because it had, like, the rabbit ears kind of on it and, like, little legs or whatever, Like, it was kind of a
Yeah.
fun little thing, so
Okay, so the quick answer to that question is that, yes, TiVo is absolutely still around, but they no longer manufacture they're not in the hardware business. So
okay.
they no longer sell you the thing, and
The box, yeah.
it's all just digital rolled into to whatever else.
I mean, that makes sense, that makes sense,
Um, well,
but
obviously his, you know, his legacy is, I would say complex, but
yeah,
most well known certainly for the 24-hour news
cable
network.
news, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the
absolutely.
idea that we are going to run news 24 hours a day,
Yeah,
which now
yeah,
is just obviously ubiquitous, but back then
yeah,
it was like groundbreaking. Like, what?
yeah. Yeah, and
Uh,
he not only did one, but then he did another. He did headline news
yeah,
after the fact, right? He had 2 24-hour, and headline news was like the bite-sized, it was almost like before we had phones, our attention span in television, because it
right.
was like the same loop of like 20 minutes or whatever, like over and over and over and over and over again. So, I remember I was, at CNN one time, and it was, peek behind the television curtain, and you'd see people like running around like television personalities with like all their makeup done and like the little tissue papers in their shirts and everything, right?
Right.
And I remember there was a guy, God, I can't remember his name. His first name was Don. I remember that. And he had a bag of Cheetos in his lap. He used to like do headline news, but he had like his morning Cheetos in his lap. And like he would just do the news, they cut to commercial, and then he'd like give himself the finger brush. I remember like all right, do I have any orange in my teeth? Kind of, I was
Right.
like, God, this is so weird. Like, what? So but yeah, the 24-hour I mean, that's probably I don't know. What's kind of interesting to think about is I bet there's different audiences out there that sort of know him for different things, right?
Yeah.
Like you, I mean, I would agree with you. It's the 24-hour news and the beginning of CNN, right?
Yeah.
But there are probably tons of people out there that like only know him for wrestling, right?
Dude, I bet even one step further, like the younger generation, they wouldn't some might know him from Ted's Montana Grill.
I mean,
Uh,
well said, well said.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? They wouldn't
yeah.
know him as the news guy or the anything, but his name is on the door for Bison burgers, which
I
is
know. I know.
another just proof of, I think, his eccentricity, right? Is like, "Oh,
Which actually, I would say I'm a Ted's Montana Grill fan. I'm
I'm a
not anti
fan.
like,
I'm a
yeah,
fan."
yeah.
We had one in downtown Decatur, but it shut down, which
It
was a
did.
bummer. I bison shortage? I
Yeah,
don't
there
know.
was one up the street from us, and I think the real estate got too expensive or something,
Well,
and
and
they
I
shut
think
down, but
that
they still
I
have the
think
one down by the Tabernacle, right? Is that still there? The
oh,
one on,
that's
like,
right. I
Lucky
think that one on
Street?
the corner because it's
Yeah,
always I mean, that's the
yeah. The place is
built-in
packed. Yeah,
pack all the
yeah,
time. Yeah, I'm a fan of Ted's. We used
Yeah,
to go there when the kids were little, and they loved it. I
yeah,
have a bunch of picky eaters, and it was like we went there because it was like, oh, universally
yeah.
beloved. Everyone can eat it. Um,
Something
and
for everything.
I
Something
think
for
that's
everyone,
what
I should say.
because I know at one point in time, and fact check me on this. Well, I know he was one of, if not, I think for a while he was the single largest landowner in the United States,
You are correct.
right?
Yeah, you are
And I
correct.
read so it's like 2 million acres of land or something. I mean, something just
Yeah, something
crazy.
insane, and I feel like it was in Wyoming or Montana or something. I mean, it was out west, I feel like, right?
I guess somewhere
Yeah.
where they're bison,
Yeah,
I believe.
obviously.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that's how we got into I
Yeah,
might just be making this up, but that makes sense, right? I think it was just, oh yeah, he's got all these bison and
I don't think you're making it up. I'm pretty sure that was at one point in time, he was like, all "Oh, he did this, he did this, he did this," and then
yeah,
also, by the way, he did,
yeah,
he brought hockey back to Atlanta. I mean, I was working at Turner
oh yeah,
when, the Thrashers came back,
Thrashers,
right? Because there was a time when Turner owned the Braves, the Hawks, and the Thrashers, and they owned what's now State Farm Arena, but was Phillips at the
it
time,
was Phillips
right?
Arena, yeah, yeah.
Which was kind of built right next to the CNN Center. And it was awesome. Dude, we used to get tickets. Like, it was awesome. We used to get
Oh,
vouchers.
I'm sure.
As an employee, you would get like, and this is old school. You get like a little perforated booklet, like a little
Oh
tear off
yeah,
booklet. Yeah. And the the trick with the vouchers was you could double up your vouchers for better seats. So you could take two, if you got a,
oh,
I think everybody got like 10 vouchers for Braves tickets or maybe 20. I can't
okay.
remember. But
Each voucher was one seat. I'm
each
assuming.
voucher was 1 seat, yeah,
Okay,
and they're the free seats. I mean, they're the bad seats all the way in the back.
yeah, right,
But you could, we used to do this. We would go around the office, get everybody's just give us all your vouchers, all of them, hundreds,
yeah,
right? Go down to the ticket office, okay, and then double up all the vouchers and just get tickets to every single baseball game. And then we had a calendar in the office, right, in the department we're in,
right,
and then everybody could get because no one's gonna go to every single game. I mean, there's 80
right,
some odd home games,
right.
right? So then you'd reserve the ones you wanted, and because we doubled up, we'd get better seats. So, I mean, they'd
Ah,
still be like outfield seats or,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
no one's getting the best of the best, but it was like, man, what an awesome I mean, it's
It's a
first
great
job
perk.
out of yeah, great perk,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah,
going to the"
especially first job, you're like, "This is the greatest thing this is the
dude.
greatest thing in the world."
Oh my god, yeah, this was like the great so, yeah, I mean, anyway, it's a weird vibe, I'm kinda like, not in my feelings a little bit, but it's kinda weird, like,
That's
"Oh,
okay to
shit."
be in your feelings. That's
Like Ted
okay.
Turner died. That is weird. I don't even know how old he was. I didn't even know. He's like in his late 80s, I feel like.
I mean, I think it's factually accurate to say he was your first boss.
Yes, I will.
I mean, I
I
think
will
you can say that,
I will take that. I will take that.
and he acknowledged that in
Yeah,
the
I
elevator.
mean, as an Atlanta native, what's the because he also didn't he manage the Braves for like 1 or 2 games, and then they were like, "No, you can't do that," or something. Do you
Oh,
remember any of that?
I
Or
don't recall that. Could be,
what's funny
maybe.
is Kyler in the office probably would know the total this
He
entire
would
story.
know which
Yeah.
games they were and
Yeah.
when.
Yeah. But, I mean, you could make the argument I mean, he obviously put a regional product on national television, which I
Yeah,
think is interesting too, right? I mean, he made like, a large
yeah,
portion of America Braves fans, right?
yeah,
Because it was programming. I mean, it makes sense. You think about it now, it's like, well, how do you get into wrestling? Okay, it was inexpensive. I mean, programming for late night,
right.
TV, right? I mean, like we got to fill the air with something, right? I mean, gone are the days of like you just go to static, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Walter Cronkite, like, and
There
that's
is no
today's
off
broadcast.
air. There's no
Yeah,
off air anymore.
I know, but
That's
isn't
the
it
other
crazy
thing.
to think that there used to be an off like, I mean, you would do the news and then it's like, "All right, we're done with today's programming."
Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
everybody turn their TV off,
Alright, I guess we're going
Like,
to bed now.
yeah,
Um,
so, I mean, what an eccentric, interesting, weird I don't know
yeah.
a lot about the
Well,
like,
I think, coming from Atlanta, like, we're proud of the guy. He felt like a hometown hero, right?
yeah,
Because
dude.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Such close affiliation with the Braves and all the sports franchises
Yeah.
here in town,
Yeah.
and he took us to the big leagues and
Yeah.
launched CNN to the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
he put Atlanta on the map to a certain extent for sure,
right,
So,
in a lot of
I mean,
ways.
Atlanta's lucky, I think, too, and that Arthur Blank is kind of the next version, right? I mean, he
Good
is kind
call.
of now, Atlanta's grandfather, right? I mean, he's got the
Good
obviously he
call.
has the Falcons, but,
And
um,
Atlanta United.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, the Falcons, Atlanta United,
And the new
but
women's team. Yeah.
well, and the women's team, and I was gonna say, like, Children's Hospital and all like, a lot of philanthropic things
Right.
around the city, not just sports teams, I guess, if that
Right.
makes sense, you know? I mean,
Right.
that huge Children's Hospital thing going on,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know, Home Depot obviously is where he got his where everything started, but, um, yeah, I mean, who will be Atlanta's 3rd unofficial grandpa, you
Well,
know?
and I mean, let's not forget, I mean, he was married to Jane Fonda,
Yeah,
like, beautiful, smart,
yeah,
amazing, talented
yeah.
woman. Like,
I
I
know.
mean, guy had a lot going for him. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Who's
gonna
gonna
be
be the next Atlanta, Captain
yeah,
Atlanta?
I have no idea.
I don't know yet. I don't know that we know yet. I'm not
Yeah.
seeing any emerging candidates quite yet.
Doesn't seem like it, not yet, not yet. I
But I
think
mean, Blank's slowing down for sure. So, I mean, the torch is gonna be passed soon, I feel
well,
like.
I was just gonna say he's gotta get the 2nds and the 3rds in the captain seat because I think that and I think he is restructuring things or whatever for the
He
Arthur
is,
Blank
yeah,
Foundation and
yeah.
whatnot,
He's stepping back from
Mhm,
a lot of
mhm.
things, yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a I mean, what a cool Atlanta original dude to turn you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like, hopefully there'll be, like, just a bunch of cool stories that come out over the next couple days
Yeah,
of what a badass the dude was or, like, um and a lot of good black and white photography. You know what I mean? Like a lot
yeah,
of good, like I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be cool. Like, oh,
yeah,
Ted when he was young doing this or that or whatever the deal is. So
yep.
truly an Atlanta original.
A true media pioneer, we'll say. A
Totally.
man of many talents and many interests. All right. Well, that was a fun one, and,
Yeah. Speak-
RIP Ted Turner, man.
Speaking of Atlanta pioneers, where can you
May the
find your next Atlanta pioneer? I know that didn't
great
really
segue.
segue very well, did it?
Yeah, wherever you get your podcasts, of course.
There you go.
Also, online at mocktheagency.com and on all the socials, we are pretty easy to find.
Totally. Totally.
All right.
All right.
6-7, everybody.
All right.
Closing
We'll
it
catch you
out.
next time. Yep.
Bye.
Thanks.